FeesMustFall activist Kanya Cekeshe has been denied leave to appeal his conviction and he's been denied bail. Well, for more on this story, across to our reporter Griselda Lewis, who's been observing proceedings. Griselda?
Well, a very good afternoon to you, Nompo. Well, a very good afternoon to you, Nompo. Indeed, just walking out of the Johannesburg Magistrate Court. The family of Kanya Cekeshe, as his, of course, application for leave to appeal his conviction has been dismissed, and so has been his bail application. So the defense has basically at this stage been very unsuccessful in their bid to have, of course, this court hear an application for leave to appeal that conviction. Just a few moments ago, his mother, very emotional, she was obviously hoping for the best today. It has been a long journey for them since December 2017 when he was incarcerated. We're just heading out at the moment now, and I will ask my colleague in just a short moment. We do apologize at this stage. I'll try and bring in the, of course, the uncle of the convicted FeesMustFall activist. We're just going to go through where we are here at the moment. I do understand that there will be a press statement that will be issued by quite a number of individuals at this stage. We do apologize for some of the shakes in our visuals at this time. I'm going to try and bring in one of the relatives at this stage. I'll ask my colleague here.
We think that the both, and we think that what will likely find faults on. We may also be wrong in our assessment, but we think that Magistrate is wrong on both of them. Someone was talking about taking it to the streets. No, I'm not using anything. I'm not in favor of any streets. The judicial process still works. We will be going to the office now with Vicar Stale. We will be drafting the application. You've heard it, I announced it in court that we will be bringing a High Court application. We remain optimistic that the High Court will look at the matter differently. Those who were present in court last week could see that the arguments against us were very facile. That position has not changed. So keep up the spirit.
All right. Advocate obviously representing. If I could ask my colleague just to come this direction to me, let's just get some reaction from the just move towards here. Mr. Nikelo Madala, who is, of course, the uncle of the convicted FeesMustFall activist. Mr. Madala, apologies for intruding at this time. Obviously very difficult. I saw very emotional scenes from you and your family just a few moments ago after the announcement that Kanya was denied bail and also his application for leave to appeal has been dismissed.
It's obviously a body blow, Griselda, but we fight on. Tobe said we'll petition the High Court, and that's what we're going to do.
Quite a number of issues that were put forward by the legal representation, Mr. Madala, in that, it seems, according to your family, you believe you'd been failed by the state since the very beginning.
You just look around at the security here. It's almost like they're trying a terrorist. And strange enough, that's what they labeled, that's what the Nationalist Party labeled prisoners back then. So it's just curious. I've got nothing else to say, really.
Thank you very much indeed for your time, Mr. Mnikelo Madala, who is, of course, the uncle of the convicted FeesMustFall activist Kanya Cekeshe. Just moments ago, of course, the Johannesburg Magistrate Court denying his application for leave to appeal his conviction and, of course, denying him bail. You heard there from his legal representation, represented, of course, by Advocate Tembeka Ngugaitobi, that they're now taking this to the High Court. And you can see scenes here outside the Johannesburg Magistrates Court. lots of disappointment. I'm going to try and see if I can't just move towards this direction with me. And I know that some of the FeesMustFall activists, some of which who are here at the moment, will take you live now to these visuals of EFF Member of Parliament, who of course was also in the forefront of the FeesMustFall protests, which saw the incarceration of Kanya Cekeshe, also just going to address some of the EFF members of the student command now.
Thank you very much, comrades. We're not going to be long. We've got the uncle of Kanya Cekeshe. We didn't come here to make long speeches because, as we all know, today, once again, this country has announced to us that it does not care about the future of a black child. Today, once again, this government has told us last year, not so long ago, that our cause is a genuine cause, but they jail us for our cause. I will just allow the uncle us, because it's about the family most of all, to come thank us for the support. Thank you very much, uncle.
There's not a lot to say. Safe to say that we've taken a body blow, but we fight on. We'd like to thank you guys for all your support all along, and long may it continue, not just for us, but for everyone else who feels wronged by the law of this country. Thank you.
The uncle of course, the uncle of the convicted FeesMustFall movement, of course, Kanya Cekeshe's uncle there, Mlikelo Madala, just addressing, I see now the EFF Member of Parliament, Vuyani Pambo, calling now the president of the EFF Student Command. Let's take a listen.
Puma Kanya Puma Uzo Puma Kanya Uzo Puma Uzo Puma Kanya Uzo Puma. Away with criminal courts, away with criminal judges, away forward with the EFF Students Command, forward Manta, away. Thank you very much, comrade. We are here and we've been here for one of our own Kanya. It is true, comrades of the EFF Students Command and everyone present here today, that the government of South Africa does not care about the young people of this country, does not care about the students of this country, does not care about all of you standing here, because your interest, all of you here, it was to see Kanya granted a bail to come out and be with us where we are as we speak now. But yet we are subjected to another struggle where we have to go and fight physically so for Kanya to be released, because there is no more option left for us as young people of South Africa. We have tried all procedures, we have tried all the ways, we have given them every time that they need, but they've showed us a middle finger. They are chasing us to the street. They are saying we must go to the street and demand Kanya in the street. And the street is what we are going to give them. And the street is what we are going to do. And the street is what we are going to say as the EFF Command. Fighters, let me tell you something, fighters. Don't underestimate yourselves. We have done well up to this far. And we are going to show them what we are capable of. We are not called fighters for nothing. And we are going to see it, because we want Kanya to be with us. We want Kanya to come out and further his studies. We want Kanya to come out and be with his family. Enough is enough. 3 years is enough. For nothing, Kanya must come out. Fighters, if you check, comrade, I want to register a strong point, and also to the whole entire country, that we've got this organization that called SASCO and Youth League the most sell out in the country and the most sell out in the world. There are nowhere today where Kanya is suffering. Kanya is in pain. They've sold out. They've never done anything. What they do is to take orders from the court and their bosses who played Ronald Lamula and all the judges of this country, because they care less about black people. They care less about South African students. Comrade, I used to be told how selfish or these people of Youth League, they can sell out. But today I have seen it. From day one, when we went to High Court, they were not. I found it very difficult if young people, they continue to wear a yellow t-shirt. That these people, they represent nothing. When you are in trouble, they distance themselves from you. When you are in trouble, they don't have to give a moral of support. And I when the student command tonight must go and shut those campuses in the name of Kanya. We want Kanya out. Kanya must be released. Kanya must be weeded out. Away with criminal judges, away. Away with fake judgment, away. Away with false attachment, away. Forward to the release of Kanya, forward. Amanda. Hey, two.
All right, the EFF Student Command, of course, sending a clear message that they will continue in their fight for the freedom of the convicted FeesMustFall activist Kanya Cekeshe. Just a few moments ago, again, breaking news that his, of course, application for leave to appeal his conviction has been dismissed by the Johannesburg Magistrate Court, as well as his bail has been denied a few moments ago. Very, very emotional scenes. I'll bring you towards this direction. I'll ask my colleague Nugu to come with me here for a few moments, and also hear from the National Prosecuting Authority. They did indicate that they will speak to us in the next few moments. I see Pindi will just go towards this direction. Just do bear with us at this stage as we continue, of course, with our live broadcast here. The National Prosecuting Authority, some reaction, of course, from them on, of course, this court finding, of course, that it is denying Kanya Cekeshe, who's, of course, the only remaining convicted FeesMustFall activist, and will also just... All right, I think I'll just grab you very quickly there, Sispindi. Sispindi, thank you very much for your time. Indeed, your reaction first, of course, to the court dismissing the application for leave to appeal and dismissing bail.
We welcome the court's decision as the NPA. We came to court arguing that their application for release on bail was a premature application, seeing that there is a petition that they did to the office of the judge president, and that outcome has not yet been announced, and therefore it was premature to deal with issues of bail when there is an outstanding outcome. We don't know whether the judge president's office will grant them leave to appeal or not, but we thought as the NPA that it will be proper to wait for the judge president's office decision, then entertain issues of bail. And in terms of their application for leave to appeal against conviction, we have argued as the state that there are no prospects of success. Reasons being, The accused person pleaded guilty, made admissions. He was not under any pressure to do so, and he admitted to all the elements of the crime. And now going forward and applying for appeal, we believe that just as the judge has ruled, it is a hopeless appeal.
And obviously now indications that they're going to take the matter further. They're actually going to the High Court to challenge today's verdict.
Well, they are within their rights to do so. The law allows them to do so. But going forward, we'll still be arguing as the NPA that there are no prospects of success, as the court has already ruled in this instance that the accused freely and willingly admitted to the elements of the crime.
There's also been lots of accusations, I have to ask, Sispindi, that, there may be politics that might have been at play. That's just some of the sentiment that I'm sure you know is in the public domain. And that sentiment continues, where the family also now on the podium is also saying that they believe that the justice system has been unfair to Kanya Cekeshe.
Well, Kanya Cekeshe was subjected to a fair trial, and as the NPA, as members of the criminal justice system, we are not a political organization and therefore can never be involved in any political matters. What we do is for us to promote the rule of law, is to act against lawlessness. So in this instance, the accused admitted to burning a state resource. Currently, the police are suffering from a shortage of police vehicles to attend to scenes, to attend and give proper services to the nation. And therefore, there is no way as the NPA that we are going to allow someone to ban such an important resource and be allowed to get away with it. The law must take its course, and it has indeed in this case.
Pinim Jonondwane, of course, the spokesperson for the National Prosecuting Authority. If you look towards my right-hand side here, you'd see that members of the EFF Student Command, in much disappointment, I must say, this afternoon, who've been in the forefront of calling for the freedom of Kanya Cekeshe. They here gathered here today saying they'll continue in their fight, and that this is now, of course, going to the High Court. You heard a bit earlier on Advocate Tembeka Tobi indicating that the fight is far from over, but of course that long wait that the family wanted, they thought perhaps that today it will go their way, and that the 22 months since the conviction of Kanya Cekeshe, of course, and sentence would all come to an end today. That was not to be, but for them, they say the fight does continue, but a blow for his family and for those who've been behind the hashtag Free Kanya Cekeshe movement. So certainly the next step of this particular case will then be for it, of course, to be taken to the High Court. Part of what the presiding magistrate had indicated in his reasons for denying the leave for application, or the application for leave to appeal the conviction and denying bail, is that you'd know that one of the issues that the defense had argued was that the state had basically said they had video evidence which the defense had said had not been presented during the initial trial. So the presiding magistrate cast in saying there's no way that the defense could not have seen the video which had implicated Kanya Cekeshe in the burning of that police vehicle during the university protests in 2016. That's just part of the reasons that were given by the presiding magistrate Carstens for denying leave to appeal, of course, the application for leave to appeal the conviction, and denying bail as well. But these scenes outside the magistrate's court at this stage.
All right, that's where we're going to leave those scenes for the time being. That's outside court there. And Griselda Lewis has been following that story for us and giving us a wrap of what's been happening. But essentially, and as she's just reported now, Kanya Cekeshe is going back to jail to finish his 8-year sentence that he was handed down in 2017 when he was convicted of public violence and having been accused of setting a police van alight. He tried to appeal this, saying that he was misled by his previous lawyers and that he was tricked into pleading guilty. But the magistrate said this may have been so, but not enough compelling evidence was presented in court to suggest that Cekeshe did not have adequate legal representation. So that guilty plea that he made under whatever circumstances is perhaps the point upon which his conviction has stood, and as we speak he will be back in jail, and his legal representatives, who were led in this instance by Advocate Mugaitobi, are considering their options and will take this matter further. We'll have more for you on that story during the course of our program this afternoon. But first, let's catch you up with our top stories this hour.